a barrier where they're stuck. When it comes to reading, it's kind of a strange thing because our brains are all wired differently. Some people, they don't even, it's like they can read from the time they were little. Their brain just sees it right. They see the notes. Other people focus in on notes, and they just get stuck seeing that note, and they can't step back and see the big picture. I try to think of it as juggling. When you juggle, which ball do you actually focus on? The next one? Try it. If you look at any ball, they're gone. You focus on one ball, you lose them all. It's kind of like sight reading. You can't look at a note or you lose the big picture. You just kind of have to see this peripheral vision type big picture vision. And so, have you ever seen those pictures that stick out? Like somebody says, yeah, I can see it popping out. If I cross my eyes just right, I can see this image pop out, and you just can't see it, and you're frustrated because everyone can see it but you. And then one day you're experimenting with crossing your eyes, and it hits, and you're like, and it pops out to you. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. That's kind of the same way it is with reading music. Once you can see it, once your eyes adjust and you're like, I get it, then it becomes so much easier to read. Now, some people have dyslexia. Some people have eye stigmatisms. Some people get their merds wixed. It's just a strange thing. I often get my merds wixed. And I pretend that I do it on purpose a lot so that when it happens, I think, oh, he's just joking around. And in fact, I'm gonna read you a little story. Here's a story. Once upon a time, in a corn country, there lived a very beautiful girl. Her name was Rindersella. Now, Rindersella lived with her muggly other and her two sad bisters. In that same corn country, there lived a very pransome hince. One day, the pransome hince decided to have a bancy fall. He invited the people from Riles Mound, especially the pitch reaple. But Rindersella could not go because all she had to wear were some old riddy dags. So she cat down and scried. She was a kitten there a scrying when all of a sudden her Gary Fodmother appeared, and she waved her wagic mond. And all of a sudden there appeared before her a kig boach and Hicks white sources to take her to the Bancy Fall. But now she said to Rindersella, Rindersella, you must be home before midnight, or I'll turn you into a tumpkin. So Rindersella went to the Bancy Fall, where she met the very pransome hince, who she had been watching through a wooden window. She and the pransome hince danced all night till midnight, and they lell in fuv. Suddenly, the mid-clock struck night. Rindersella steeced down the rares, and as she beats the rodham, she slopped her dripper. The next day, the pransome hince went all over the corn country looking for the beautiful burl who had slopped her dripper. He came to Rindersella's house. He tried it on Rindersella's muggly other, and it fitn't bit. He tried it on her two sad bisters, and it fitn't bit. He tried it on Rindersella, and it fitted it. In fact, it was exactly the sight rise. The next day, Rindersella and the pransome hince were married, and they lived everly after upward. The next day, Rindersella, now the story of the Maury is this. If you ever loll in fuv with a pransome hince, be sure to slop your dripper. So, it's a funny story, but the idea that all of your students see and read differently and their eyes do different things presents a really tough challenge for you. And you may come up with an amazing system that works for a bunch of students, and then you get an anomaly. And you're like, what do I do with this student? And that's when teaching gets fun, because you have to innovate. You've got to find a way to reach that student. We have just introduced some of the coolest things ever. If you have your computer, you want to log into your own account really quickly. I'm going to need a mouse, I believe. Control. Okay, back at this picture. Whoops, this picture's not a picture. Where did my HDMI? Here we go. We have not announced this to anybody. So the Piano Marvel user base does not know this feature is there unless they've just happened to cross it by accident and start to experiment with it. And I know some of you have already done that. This is where I personally struggle when I get into this level 8. Sometimes I can get through level 8 and make it to level 9. But when I get to level 9B, I'm really stuck. So I just can't get past that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at 9A, and there are 33 songs inside of 9A. I want to read through all 33 of them. How do I do it? Oh. Wouldn't that be nice if I could just pick that level, read through all 33 of those songs, and just get a feel of that difficulty range. And then what I want to do is I want to go into this 9B and do the same thing. Who knows how to do that? Just Joel. John, do you know how to do that?
I don't.
You don't know how to do that.
Are you talking about the library, the songs that are in the library at level 8?
No, I'm talking about the Sasser songs.
It's never been possible.
It's never been possible.
Now it is?
You disable strikes.
What's that?
You disable strikes.
I can disable the strikes, not really. What I can do is build my own mini boot camp, my own Sasser with just that level. I take it basically into a stage 10 boot camp, and I steal those songs out of the Sasser, put them into my own boot camp. How do you get the list? Are you ready? Okay, this will blow your minds. This is one of the coolest things ever. Here we go. We're logging into Piano Marvel, and we go into the library. You click. Michelle, could you get my mouse out of that front pocket? You go into the library, and over here on the right, some of you have been here, it's this Uploads button, and it'll open up a new tab. And in this tab, it's pulling up my collections, my uploads, and you've heard people talking about you can upload your own music into Piano Marvel, you can chop it and mince it. How many of you know how to upload your own song into Piano Marvel? So 3 of you. How many of you know how to chop and mince that song?
Not the way you want.
Yeah, David knows how to do it. We have a pedagogical discussion on what to chop and mince and where to chop it. What's the best place to chop it? Okay, this will be exciting for almost all of you then. Here we go. First thing, if you want to upload your own song, you click on this upload button, you fill this out, and you put in a MIDI file and an XML, and you click save. And that's it. You can also share it. You click on the share button, and you say who you want to share it with. You can share it with my students, or you can share it with, well, you guys don't even use this feature. This is for universities. It's an admin, so you can have teachers underneath you teaching. I'm going to say make it private to me only for now, and then I could also put in an email address of somebody I want to share it with. There is not yet a public, like YouTube has a public thing where anybody can see it. We don't have that feature built in yet because we're working on copyright permissions. Because think about what you could do. You could upload somebody's copyrighted stuff and share it to the whole world, and nobody has to pay for it anymore. So we have to work out that detail first.
Aaron, can you set up teachers underneath you?
Yes, you can. But I won't talk about that right now. But you can set up teachers. In fact, BYU has it set up to where each of the teachers have a teacher account and an administrator can see everything inside of their teacher's account. I'm going to close this because that would require you to upload your own XML and your own MIDI file. And let's say you don't know how to use Finale, because that's going to be another course on how to do that. MuseScore is another way to get your own file. But right now, let's just do something easy that everybody can do. Let's build that boot camp. So over here on the right, I can create folders and folders within folders to organize your materials. This, for instance, is your book. Inside of a book, you can place what we call bundles, which is your bundles is a book inside of a bundle inside of your book. And then inside of your bundle is where you put the pieces. So I've created this class 1, and inside of my class 1, I've got a bunch of folders, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Just for instance, let's say you want to just assign students to do this by week. Another idea is you can say, here are my PlayScore files, and I've got a bundle of just things that I'm working on that I'm organizing this way. Another idea down here, Sasser level 6. So I've already done this. And now let me click on this. And inside of my 6, I've got all of the 6A files inside of this little bundle. Now, how do you get them? I told you I wanted a Sasser, 9? So, let's say I'm going to duplicate this. Since I already made it. This duplicate is brand new feature. I'll click on copy. It makes a copy. And because it's brand new, where did it go? Copied book successfully. You can find and edit this book under your music collections. Where did it go? Tell me if you see it. Where? Oh, this one right here. Okay. And now I'm going to edit it. Because I want it to actually be level 9. And I'm going to change this to 9. Level 9.
Change the title to Sasser's 9.
Thank you. I'll change that title to 9. Oh, that's what happens. My number lock is on. Level 9. Click save. And who's about a level 9 reader in here? Who's stuck at the same spot as me? Okay. Would you like this? Okay, let me share it with you. So, but before I share it, let me go ahead and make some changes. Let's see. So where's our level 9 now? Let me minimize these guys. Oh, there's my 9. Okay, I don't want this stuff inside of there. So I'm going to just erase that one, and that one, and that one, that one, and 70. Okay, so I'm going to create a bundle. And I'm going to call it, what is it, Sasser, or no, wait, I said level 9A. And I don't need a title, I don't need a composer, I could put various actually. Genre is going to be classical, difficulty level 9, and now it tells you what book. So you can actually place it inside right here by saying, I want this to be in my Sasser level 9 book. And you can put a PDF if you want it to look pretty. You can put a thumbnail on it. The PDF is for instructions or whatever. And then I'm going to click save. So now it's saving. Now we watch paint dry, still saving and saving. Maybe another story I can read.
Did you say there were 26 pieces in there? No.
33 in 9A. Yeah. So do I want to put them all in there, or do I want to just pick 10 of them?
And then you can create a boot camp out of it?
You can create your own boot camp out of it, which is, they're only stage 10 boot camps that you can do right now, which makes sense. It's not hand separate, it's just hands together. There's no minced and chopped slicing for those pieces. Okay, so now it's there. I've got nothing in it, but it's there. How do I populate it with songs from the Sasser? Hopefully it's intuitive. Look around. Not too intuitive? There is a filter. There's this box called Sasser Only. I'm going to click the box called Sasser Only. Oh, wait, I'm in my uploads. I don't actually have any uploads in there. I'm going to go to the Piano Marvel library. I'm going to filter this to 9A to 9A. And it'll only show Piano Marvel library. So my filters are, now I'm going to the Piano Marvel library. Oh, it changed this back. Okay, I learned something new. You can't do that. 9A to 9A, Sasser only, and there are the 33 pieces. All right, let's do it one at a time. How do I put it in? It's pretty easy. You drag it and drop it. Look, I got one. Number 2.
You like select a lot of them and drag them all?
I wished. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5.
You could only put 10 in?
No, I can put as many as I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm getting lost here. 6. So I got 6 in, and I think it's showing me. Okay. It's this one, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. So I got 10. I don't want to do too many at this point because I want you to actually play through them today when we break out into a session. So, can you log into your account on one of those pianos over there? Use a computer. And I need to share this with you, but I also want you to see what she's seeing, so we're going to have to kind of scrunch over there and look. Yes?
I've been noticing what you're dragging and dropping in there. Those are all technique files. You probably want something other than technique.
Were these Sasser ones?
Yeah. Funny.
What are those? Am I in the wrong? How did I?
There's some good ones down there.
Well, it's not showing the right ones, is it? Barros Piano Studio. These are all yours. How in the world?
Those are all my uploads. I don't know how you got them.
I have no idea why they're in here.
You uploaded the Piano Marvel you did.
Well, yeah, but it shouldn't show me any of her personal uploads in here.
Maybe I did something wrong. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think it was you. Let me try this again.
That's why you can't pass the 9.
Level 9. To level 9. And
It says Sasser only. Yeah, no, there's lots.
so now what? Why in the world?
I don't think the checkbox reset when you selected piano.
Okay, thank you for catching that. That would have been one boring Sasser. Goodbye, goodbye. Okay, so now I have them. Okay, so the difficulty over here shows 9A. And now I can do this. Drop 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's just do 5 for now. And I want to share this folder. Actually, you want to turn it into a boot camp. So pay attention on how you make this a boot camp. And you also want to report, if you want to report. So here's how you create the report. Click on this edit. Nope, the share button, sorry. Let's do share. We're going to enter, may I have your email address?
Natalene.
Nataline.
Leen.
Wait, Nataleen.
J.
@gmail.co. And let's see what happens when I say add. It says the following emails do not belong to any users, nataline@gmail.co. So let's try natalinej@gmail.com and click add. And you've been added. I have to save that. Now, before I have her open this, I'm going to turn it into a boot camp with the edit button. And over here on the right, you say progress report and boot camp. They're set to no automatically. I'm going to say yes on this. And over here, I'm going to say just kidding. So it's something we can easily identify. And then over here, I'm going to say, do I want it to be a boot camp? I'll say yes. Oh, look, I can have a boot camp report. I'm going to put just kidding boot camp report. BC report. And then I'm going to say save. I've got a yes here, report, a boot camp. Save it. Now, can we fit in this little room?
What? Why don't you just have her log in?
You want to do that? Okay, come up here. I'll just have to log out and then log back in. Unless we do it on another piano.
We're recording this session. Okay.
Let's then do it up here. I am now going to log out. Let me show you the difference between when she logs in and when I log in. So I'm logging in here, and if I go to my library, I may be able to see this Sasser. It may automatically be in, there it is. It's automatically in my library, and I open it up, and there are the songs. Wait a minute. I think I got a bunch of those exercises in there that shouldn't be in there, huh? Which have, it didn't delete them.
Maybe it hasn't updated yet in the system.
Yeah, well, this is new, so you're gonna find some bugs in it. Let me go ahead and log out. Nataline, go log in. And we get to see some of Melinda's exercises.
I'm going to find that in my library?
Go to your library and stop right here.
Oh, look at that.
Aaron Garner shared a bundle with you. Bundle title, level 9A, genre classical. Now you have two choices. Don't add this to my library or add this song to my library. Go ahead and click add to my library. So you can share these with your students and it'll big sign pop up and oh look, my teachers, and I've accidentally shared stuff with my students. It was set to share with students and then they get in there and they're like, what is this? I'm like, ignore that, that wasn't for you. And then I have a bunch of students actually go in and try those things and then they're really confused.
I've seen those exercises too.
Okay, so notice, yeah, we're looking at the exercises. So I built this bundle, but there's a start boot camp on it at the bottom. Go ahead and click on start boot camp. And notice, you get, you have 20,
27
You have 30 seconds to do these. The Sasser only gives you 20 seconds, but for all your boot camps you create, you get 30 seconds to practice. Good luck. Hands
I'm
together.
gonna do right hand and left hand. No, I don't. You said it was all hands together.
Hands together.
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, you got one more second.
1, 2,
That is way fast.
Oh, yeah. Is it gonna give me a chance to slow down?
It does not give you a chance to do it again.
Yeah.
You're
What do
done.
you know? I got 2 notes.
Okay, now just like the Sasser, it allows you just click the space bar and it moves to the next song. But you notice you don't have a strike, so you don't get strikes. So it's like a combination of the Sasser and the boot camp. Go ahead and hit the space bar, and let's hope this song's easier. Oh, oh, you know what? You had 3 speeds. Was that the slowest? So this one's faster? You can, how do you know how fast it is? You can click on the play controls and see what the tempo is marked at. It's at 110. I don't know what the last one was, but good luck. You can beat 4% though. Yes.
Pick one like this that's
1, 2, set,
Did you?
go.
Just do a glissando. Oh, 5%. Okay, I would say hit the space bar. And it's probably going to be the same thing, the 3rd speed. Go ahead and start it. I didn't mean to put these in there. I meant to do the other
1,
ones.
2, set, go.
And the next song should probably be a real one. You're 9% of the way finished with this boot camp. Okay. Don't even practice. Just go ahead and hit the space bar so we can watch it.
1, 2, set, go.
65%. Now, can you click?
Faster, right?
No, it won't. Because the exercises that she built that I accidentally put in had 3 speeds. That's why you went through all 3 speeds. The Sasser ones only have 1 speed, so it'll now go to the next song. Yeah.
Okay.
So before you go to the next song, I'm going to just close this, and you can see that you are how far through the boot camp? 13%. So you can come back and take a break and come back and do it whenever you want. When you hit resume boot camp, go ahead and hit resume. Gives you 30 seconds. Whoops, you missed it. And we're back to some scale exercises. Yay. So go ahead. You have 20 seconds. When it starts, you can't stop it. So you have to close your browser in order to stop that test, refresh the browser, and it won't score. Or you can catch it before it hits 0, hit that X. Okay, so you can close it before it hits 0, or you have to refresh your browser. Can you go to the detailed report? This is where it gets really exciting, because you can take this, copy and paste that into a spreadsheet, and all of your scores with it. And you can do a lot of stuff with that for students. You prepare students, you can have little competitions. You can, we're gonna be doing this for big competitions. I'm gonna take the level 17, 18 things, and we're going to be giving them to the best sight readers in the world and have them all reading at the same time. And then we will show their report on another screen, so we can say he's in first place, second place, third place. So you can do this in your little studio. There's all sorts of things you can innovate, and it's wide open to just what you can imagine here. I will escape this. Does anybody have any questions on how that works? Pretty innovative, pretty easy, intuitive. Okay, I'm going to go to the next thing really quickly. Thank you. We'll close that report. By the way, I, as a teacher, I'm going to log out of hers, log back into mine. Not sure what that beeping is. I'm going to go to, actually not my library, but my reports. Because I put 2 reports in, and I just want to see, what were they called? Just kidding? Let's look for the just kidding reports and see how we find them. If I type a J, does it work? Oh, it does. If you type a J, it'll automatically find that. Anything starting with a J. If I hit another J, it goes to all the J's. I don't know where the other just kidding report is. This is the, let's see what it looks like. If I sort it, I can sort this by clicking this button up here. And you can see who's done. It looks like some people have done some of those songs. And Natalie is not in my report, otherwise I would see her scores in that. But you could do it in your whole studio. You can also type, let's say I want to go into Michelle. These are all the people in Michelle's class that I've set up. I'm going to show you how to set up classes too, because a lot of you have never used that feature, and it's really cool. Okay, anyway, found the report. Let's go back to my library where I can get to my uploads. And I may have that open in another tab. Let me just get rid of one of them. So what else can you do with this? You can actually steal songs from Piano Marvel's library and make your own slicings. So the way you do that, let's say, give me a song you like to teach. How about Satin Gloves? Let's take Satin Gloves. I was going to do a Bergmuller piece, but let's see what's in Satin. Nothing in my uploads. I need to change this to Piano Marvel Library. Type Satin Gloves, and I've got 2 of them here. Let's take this one and let's make a copy of it. Make a copy. And now it's in Song Copied Successfully. You can find and edit this song under My Uploads. So now I own this song. Piano Marvel did all the work. I just want to do some edits in it. So I come over to My Uploads, and I type in Satin, and there it is. And let's see, I'm going to do an edit. I can change the tempos, I can change the MIDI file, I can change the PDF, I can share it with students, I can, yes?
How can you change the MIDI file?
You just put in your own MIDI file.
Okay, but that's not changing the song that you're talking about.
It's not changing the song, just the accompaniment you hear. Let's say you want to spruce it up and make it really cool and swing it or whatever. You can put in your own MIDI file for that, but I don't want to. I just want to leave it alone. So I'm going to close this, but what I actually don't close, I wanted to show you this thing right here, Create or Edit Practice Mode. This is where you chop and mince it. So I can say, I really think they need to do measures 1 through 2 because that's where my students are getting stuck. So what you do is you just duplicate this, and it says made a copy of it. So now I think I could just drag this down below, and I can rename this. So I'll edit it, and instead of 1, what's before 1? 1A? So I might even just say, this is 1A for me. And I'm gonna change this to measures 1 through 2. And here's your tempos. You can change the tempos that Piano Marbles put in, and you can put in your own tempos if you don't like those. So I'm gonna say, yep, I wanna change this tempo to a little bit faster, like 60, 80, and 112. And this particular one, I only want to see the right hand. So I'm gonna unselect the left hand. And at the point, now this is where you decide in the music where you want it to start and where you want it to end. So the point is, see, the measure is easy. Measure 1 to measure 2. I don't know what my point is that I want it to end on. That really depends on the song. So I personally like to open the book. Can you open book 3 for me and show me that song? And I'll show you how that works. We would love to have said, just go to beat this, but because of the complications with how many syncopations and stuff and programming it, we had to decide to just use something called points. So measure 1 and 2. There's one note here and one note here, rest here. This is a whole rest, and two notes. This is a dotted quarter note and a dotted quarter note. My point, I wanted to go to point 2 because that would capture the last thing. Over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points that you can have at start or stop. So that's what the points are. So I want to go to point 2. So it's going to be 2.2 and save. Oh, and I'm just doing the right hand. That'll be awkward because this is a hand crossover thing, but just so you guys can see what it does. So now in my chop section, I have something unique. My min section, I'm gonna say, I want them all gone, except for 1. I think I can hit enter. No, I can't. We need to make that enter. I will make sure you can do this faster.
What's the difference between chopped and minced?
Minced is small sections. Anybody want to answer that? While I...
Before measures of time, isn't it? Chopped is
You can have just 2 measures, you can have 4 measures,
Yeah.
you can have just right hand, just left hand. Chopped, you would take like a song and maybe cut it into the section A, section B, and that's all you really need, because when you go back to section A, it'll be over, but you chop it. In other words, like page 1, page 2.
He only wants to do 2 measures on this particular song. So,
That's mid. No, it's mixed. If it's just a couple of measures, it's mixed.
Yeah, it's basically it's just a word we use. So you can do whatever you want with the mince. It's just a way to chop up a piece into learning segments for your students. All right, so now I've done that. Why isn't it showing in my library? How do I get it to show? Refresh the screen. Excellent. So I'll refresh the screen and hope that in my library I get a song called Copies Satin Gloves. Or did I change the name? Did I erase copy? No, there won't be the word copy. It's gone. Did I not save it? Where are you? Okay, I'm going to make this a unique title. Let's edit it and say test satin gloves. Save. Now let me go back here and see if I can find test satin. So it does show up here, and you can add it yourself manually. That should have theoretically worked. Now when I open this and I go to the min slicings, I erased everything except for 2, just so that you could see I had control over this piece. And over in the chopped, I can get it there, or I can change it here. Let's look and see what this 1A exercise is. I think it was, I set the tempos to, yeah, it's up to 60 instead of 50, and it should be just reading the right hand only, which it is. Everything else is highlighted. And you can see it's just the measures 1 and 2. So I actually have control over the piece, and I can give my students a piece and say, you know what, I like this piece, but I think it could be improved. Like I've seen students struggle with this piece. I need to insert an extra practice section in there. And you have that flexibility. So, how many of you think this is a really cool feature? How many of you think it might be, but you'd have to just experiment with students to see the full effect? Okay. Now, I see this as the absolute game changer with all of what we've done so far in this company, in that it'll be like what YouTube has created. YouTube has taken over. Do you know why? If you need to change your headlight on a Prius, how do you do it? Yes, you go to YouTube. Now, why does YouTube have a video of it? Is it because YouTube decided one day, you know what, there's going to be people with Priuses that need to change their headlight. Let's go hire somebody to make a video on how to do that.
Somebody wanted to do it.
No, they've created a platform that allows for millions of people to go in and create videos that they think are relevant or cool. And so what we've done is expanded this to millions of people putting their ideas and theories into one location that people can access. And so you get everybody helping out. And once that happens, it just opens it up, and the whole world will be able to add pieces and their ideas, and people will be able to search. Now, the hard part in YouTube is what? Finding videos that are quality and relevance. They've done a really, really good job, haven't they? I mean, if you know how to do keyword searches, you can pretty much find what you're looking for. So that's going to be our challenge in this next step, is how do we find relevant songs that are high quality? Because you don't want a bunch of junk. You can see already we have so many songs in Piano Marvel that it's hard to find what you're looking for in the library. So that's kind of our next big innovation, is we're going to find ways like Google has to make good keyword searches, and you can kind of sort out. We can do like a 5-star system where you can say, you know what, this one's got a high rating, which, have you guys seen the rating system, by the way, in Piano Marvel? So there's already a rating system that we've begun. And the way you find it, if I do a search in the library, and is there a reset button? I guess I just have to erase this. Over here, there's a star rating system, and you can see the stars rated. Well, Joel's got the new system of the library. It's actually going to allow users to rate songs, and you'll be able to use those to kind of weed out the stuff that's junk and say, I just want to see stuff with a 4-star rating or above. Yes?
Can you walk us through how to do a rating on a song? How would we do
You
that?
can't do a rating on a song yet. That's the new system that Joel's already started, and it is coming. So, but you can see this. You should already start using this with your studio. What time is it? Is it time for lunch? Yes, we're at time for lunch. When we do our breakout session, what I'd like you to do is make sure you build something and start using it. So, David, your Sasser score, if you're in the 600s and you're just stuck on that, I want you to feel, actually, I've already built one. I can,
600?
yeah, I can just share it with you, and you don't have to build anything.
There you go.
And then you just go through that, and you can see your scores on each of those songs and see where you're struggling. And I think your score, you will get over that hump, and you'll be able to get to that next 100 level. So that's what you've been wanting all this time. I think this is the feature that's going to make it happen for you. All right, so we'll break for lunch. We're going to be back here at 1:30. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And we're going to have a...
Streets about a mile on the right side.
Yeah, anybody want a carpool to the... Do we have a car?
I've got room for a few if anybody wants.
I got room for 5. Yep, there are other restaurants